What's the saddest thing that ever happened at your school? Everyone remembers Ms. Garcia as the Spanish teacher who got fired for inappropriate conduct. That's the official story. The real reason will haunt me forever. She was everyone's favorite teacher. Young, maybe 28, always stayed after school to help struggling kids. Had this way of making even the worst students care about learning. My buddy Shane was failing everything until her class. She turned him around completely. The problem started when she began paying for things out of pocket. Kid forgot lunch money? Ms. Garcia had them covered. Someone needed supplies. She'd quietly slip them notebooks and pens. Field trip fees? She'd mark kids as paid even when they weren't. Our principal, Mr. Davidson, ran the school like a business. Every penny accounted for, every fee collected. He'd literally check kids' lunch accounts at the door and turn away anyone who owed money. Made them sit in the office during lunch, hungry, calling their parents. I was working as an office aide when I overheard him warning Ms. Garcia, "You're enabling these families. They need to learn responsibility. They need to learn on full stomachs." She shot back. Things escalated when she started a homework club after school, free tutoring, but she'd also bring snacks. Knowing most kids there hadn't eaten since the free lunch at noon, Davidson said she was undermining school meal program revenue. Then came the winter coat incident. This kid Raymond showed up during a freeze wearing just a hoodie. Ms. Garcia took him to the nurse, then disappeared for an hour, and came back with a brand new winter coat from Walmart. Davidson lost it, called her into his office with a resource officer present. I was filing papers right outside. Heard everything. "You purchased clothing for a student without parental consent. That's a liability issue." He was freezing. "That's not your concern. We have protocols. Social services takes weeks. Winter is now. Return the coat." The family didn't ask for charity. 2 weeks later, they discovered Ms. Garcia had been letting kids submit homework late, hadn't been following the strict grading rubric, was too emotionally involved with students' personal lives. They built a whole case about professional boundaries, used every good deed to spin lies, painting Ms. Garcia as a bad person rather than the only person to truly care. But the real kicker came during a parent-teacher conference. She was meeting with Raymond's mom, Sandra, explaining how well he was doing. Sandra started crying, thanking her for the coat, for the food, for caring when nobody else did. That's when Davidson walked in with security. In front of the parent, in front of other teachers, he accused Ms. Garcia of grooming behavior for buying student affection with gifts. The word spread like wildfire. It didn't matter that every gift was documented, every interaction appropriate. It didn't matter that she'd spent over $3,000 of her teacher salary that year just keeping kids fed and warm. The suggestion was enough. Parents who'd praised her weeks earlier suddenly got nervous. What kind of teacher spends that much on students? Why was she so interested in their personal lives? Davidson fed the paranoia, bringing in experts to talk about professional boundaries and warning signs. Ms. Garcia was put on leave during the investigation. Kids started a petition, 500 signatures. Parents wrote letters defending her. Even some teachers tried to speak up, but Davidson had already won. He painted her as naive at best, predatory at worst. The school board, terrified of liability, sided with him. She was quietly let go for failure to maintain professional boundaries and creating an unsafe emotional environment. The homework club ended, the free snacks disappeared, kids went back to being hungry, cold, forgotten. Raymond stopped coming to school regularly. Shane started failing again. I saw Ms. Garcia once more at a grocery store months later. She was working as a cashier. When she saw me, her eyes filled with tears. That's what nobody talks about. How the system doesn't just fail students, it destroys the people who try to save them. Ms. Garcia didn't get fired for inappropriate conduct. She got fired for caring.